5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve. This is Live with Neve. Iconic musicians, comedy, and God knows what else. Hold on!
All right. Here we are, live with Neve. You're on the East Coast of North America from New York. We are high in the Highlands, New Jersey. I'm sitting below the lighthouse where Marconi sent the first radio broadcast all the way over to England or wherever the hell he was sending it. It is a beautiful day here in New York City. It is gorgeous out. The sun is shining. The bees are flying around. The birds are freezing their ass off. And I'm sitting here trying to get you guys up and ready for the day. So today I have some amazing guests on. Of course, I have the lovely and talented Sam Rourke as my co-host and Issa colleague. I have the Detroit Madman. And for our musical guests, we have the lovely Ewelina. I hope I've pronounced it right. I've been over the weekend. I must have pronounced it in my head 5 different ways. So please forgive me. I was going to call you and ask you. She's watching from the background going, this guy's really an idiot. But at any rate, that's been said before. I'm going to bring on Sammy. We're going to talk about some cool stuff, see how it's going. She had kind of a near-death experience last night in Nashville, which, as much as I love Nashville, this is one of the reasons why it's like kind of a funky place, you know, get into the bunker type of thing. When the hurricanes, or rather the tornadoes, come through, it's just pretty crazy. But we're glad you're here, and let's see what Sam's got going on in Nashville. Hey, baby. Where'd you go? You're muted on your end. You're muted.
Good morning. There we go.
Woo! Hello. There you go. Hello. How are you, Sammy? What's happening in Nashville? You had some heavy weather last night?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. The storms were insane last night. My trash can's about 3 blocks down the street somewhere. I'm going to have to go find it later.
Well, that's cool.
We had to take cover, but it's all good this morning. It's sunny out finally. We had about a 50-degree temperature drop. It was like 70 degrees yesterday midday, and it got down to about 27. So that explains for the bad weather. So
it's funny. We had almost the same thing, and I believe it was the storm that passed through Nashville on its way here to Gotham. And last night, yesterday in the afternoon, I was running around with my shirt off on the balcony, sitting out getting a little sun on my studio tan because I'm ghastly white. I haven't been out in the sun in months. Well, actually, you, Sam, I mean, I've got that Mediterranean blood, so I'm already a dark horseman, but you look all pale too from being out. You know, we're all molded up for the whole winter. It's awful.
Oh, no, it's time to get some sunlight. I need some vitamin D. So
definitely, me too.
I'm over this winter. I'm ready for summer.
Good morning, Michelle, and morning, Toby. We
Hi,
have
Toby.
some friends here. Michelle, if this is your first time here, I'll try to be gentle. We're going to have a great show today. We've got the lovely Ewelina. Ex-Lena. Shit, this guy is mad and crazy, isn't he? She doesn't know what kind of show she's gotten herself into. I hope everybody's really looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. Like you said, Sam, even if it's cold out, I need some vitamin D badly. I'm just going to go out and sit in the sun with a coat on and, you know, get revitalized and ready for the weekend. Strong like bull. Yeah. So how's things going? Tell me about what's going on in the music scene in Nashville. We got some interesting stuff going on.
We got a lot of stuff going on right now. There's so much coming back to life, just like after COVID. So there's shows everywhere. Festivals are coming back to Nashville. I'm prepping myself for festival season this year. Just a lot going on. The city is starting to come back alive after 2 years. It's taken 2 years for Nashville to kind of really recover and for any of us to even start going back out and regularly playing again. We've all, you know, got this online presence now that doesn't require us to leave our home, you know, to pay the bills. So it's pretty cool to see people out again.
Oh, right. We're getting a message from LA from our girl on the street, the girl from Wilshire Boulevard, Toby Simmons. Toby One Kenobi's giving us an update. Hopefully Toby can hook us up with the passes and stuff. Don't worry, Toby. I won't hound you for passes much. I might bribe her, actually. I'll have to do that. We'll try bribery.
I don't know. She's down there talking about Sir Paul in the comments. So.
Yeah, man, with Sir Paul coming around, you know. And look, we got Pam Pam, nice to hear from you, babe.
Hey,
We'll be
Pam.
talking to you soon. We got all our old friends are stopping by, and I'm glad. Let's go on. We've been talking, and we've got our main man from Detroit, the Irish madman, the Detroit madman. Here he is from Detroit, Rock City. We've got the one and only Irish.
Rock City. Baby.
Good morning.
This is the beautiful thing about being me is that you guys stay pale, but I observe my right to fuchsia, and not everybody can pull this here off.
Yeah, you're definitely. I would have never known you're from Ireland. I couldn't imagine. I would have thought you were some kind of an Eskimo, for Christ's sakes.
Oh my God, I don't mind it. I go out and play in it. It's fun. It's kind of like water candy to me.
Hey man, we get together. I'm practicing for the arm wrestle, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm observing my concentration.
I may be a drummer, but I'm sure Irish should crush me like a little girl, man. I know my place in the world. I sign the checks. I get big guys like you to go kill people.
Oh man, it's getting rowdy up here too. I went out last night, man, and we had, I don't get it sometimes. Detroit gets a little rowdy sometimes, but
right.
We're out at the bar, we're having a few drinks, buddy. My birthday, and his girl does boxing and stuff like that. And this freaking guy, he's like, I'm a fighter. He's like, let me show you. Grabs her, puts her on the ground. I'm like, and I grabbed this dude, and I literally lift him up about this high, and he's just like, I'm like, yeah, you're a fighter. Don't touch a woman in front of me again. Ever.
Yes.
Did he get his manners? Did he get an attitude adjustment?
I think he had a little attitude, but then he felt a little more than what he wanted to deal with. And
he felt he would do better things with his life than be an asshole.
Then we left. Hey, we're out of here. That's enough. Let's go home.
Yeah.
And
that's how you get your ass kicked in a bar.
It really is. It's just a good way. I mean,
come on, man.
The chance of getting piled on by 4 or 5 people where I come from, you start smacking a chick around, we're going to kick you and beat you out the door. It's going to be pretty ugly.
And
I'm sorry.
I hate it.
For any guys watching, please.
Love
do
the
not.
pictures you post. Toby, I love you.
Oh,
Toby,
man, no doubt.
You know it.
I tell you what, we have the best fans in the world. Yeah, Toby, call this fucking crazy, man. Now, let me see what we got here. Turning off my DVR to listen to NASCAR. Oh, man, you are the man. Anybody who turns off NASCAR, that is a fan. I'm going to tell you. What a guy.
I watched NASCAR cause a jail.
I was about to say, that's serious to this one here.
Yeah.
That's serious business.
It caused a jail fight whilst I was in jail that I then participated in because somebody said something about Bobby Labonte, and I was like,
oh. I love you, Sam.
I wonder if I'm going to call this show from now on. I'm becoming a probation officer.
Yeah,
I'm only hiring those who've at least done a night in jail.
No, you should name it Where the Wild Things Are.
That's it, man. I love it.
Can't get sued by the Dr. Seuss Corporate. No, let's see who is that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's my favorite book as a kid, and I read it to my daughters, and I read it for my granddaughter on a video. I haven't sent it to her yet, but I recorded Where the Wild Things is and cut all the scenes from the book into it.
Yeah,
she's only 5. I know she'll be like, well, Pop-Pop's a weirdo.
The curious thing about that statement is if Sam and I have to rely on you for parental, supervision, where does that really say about us?
Well, actually, I'm quite the disciplinarian with my children. I have to tell you, man, they kept in line. I didn't even have to whip them or do anything. I just look at them. I'd get quiet, and they know.
Have you seen me on the drums? That can be your ass. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's funny. They had more imaginary terror from me because I would do diabolical punishments, but it wouldn't be anything that really. It was just like to annoy them. I wouldn't slap them around. I'd make like my daughter go in and clean out all the shit from under her bed. I'd be like, Asia, I know you're going into science as a career, but go under your bed. We don't have any dishes left. We've got no soup bowls left. And you've got a fucking chemistry experiment under the bed that's about to go critical mass.
Chemistry dishes everywhere.
Yeah, man. It's like she's just such a pig. I mean, and now she's an RN. She's super clean in her own house. The only thing she got from me about her house, which I'm happy of, she has shit piles of books all over. And that's a good thing to have, She's a cool kid, and if you're in danger in Tampa, Florida, you want her. If you see her diminutive 5-foot frame peering over you, and you see she's a Van Erty, know that you're in good hands. I mean, she's been known to save more than a few lives, and I can just tell you I'm very proud of her, and she's awesome.
Hats off to the nurses.
Hats off to the nurses and to my other daughters. She's a teacher. I just love them both. I don't know why it came out. Next thing I'll be pulling out pictures. Well. Oh, you want to see my little bunkin? Yeah, sorry. I love my kids. What can I tell you? And my cats. So we're at 10:13. I love it. Philip Booth's watching. Hey, Phil, it's a little different.
Susan is in the house as well.
Philip is an amazing guy. He is just one of the best writers. He wrote for the Tampa Tribune, St. Pete Times, the Tampa Times Tribune, whatever the hell. It's gone back and forth in this day of weird journalistic oligarchy. I love that word, oligarchy. It's just all it makes me want to do is become a fucking oligarch. I want the cash, man. Show me the money. Yes.
I don't know what it is, but you know what? It sounds fun. Let's just do it.
Yeah, trust me. I'm launching the presidency, and I'm announcing my candidacy. I'm going to put my hat in the ring.
Oh God, here we go.
Sammy, you're going to have a place in the process, and Irish, you're going to be my minister of defense. You're just going to kick somebody's ass and keep anybody.
I'll be the best one ever. I'll bring everybody home.
There you go.
So I'll be your entertainment commission, and I'll sing only Toby Keith and Bruce Springsteen songs. And you're solo cup.
All right, as long as we can do a duet on a Springsteen tune, we'll give it a new flavor.
That's a whole bit. I love Springsteen, so I'm good with it.
All right, yeah, he used to be my neighbor here in Rumson about 7 years ago, and when Hurricane Sandy hit us, after it hit, I had been I was up in Vermont and had to drive back the day the hurricane hit. While I'm driving down the interstate, it closes. We get home. Finally, like on the interstate that's closed, we got to exit 109 and wild ass home. And we went down to the bridge where the water was like blowing over the barrier island and houses were going down the river and shit. I mean, it was insane. And I looked at my girlfriend. We're standing on the bridge and I hear it in my buds. Winds have reached like 100 miles an hour. And I've been in that before. So I just looked at her and like, there's a crowd of us. And I said, it's time to go. It's really time to go. And I'm like dragging her off the bridge, walking into this incredible wind and rain and just chaos. I have pictures of it. But then the next day I go out, decide to drive around the neighborhood. And lo and behold, Springsteen's gate looks like somebody rammed it with a truck. And there's none of his cars are there. Big Suburban, Audi, Porsche, whatever he's got out there now. He sold the house since, but I pulled up and went, well, no, I called the cops. I pulled into his driveway, pulled the gates closed, called the cops. I said, hey, I know you guys are on Bruce's payroll. Like, you know, I'm here at the Springsteen residence, sitting in the driveway, and I think you ought to send a car out because it looks like somebody might have broken into his house. Hey, Sam, I'm sorry. While I'm talking, can you please send Dwayne Wells, W-E-L-L-E-S, or L's, at W-E-L-L-S, an invite. He must have the wrong invite. He's having trouble getting into the room. We're going to go to a break, everybody, and I'll be out of here. We'll be right back. We're going to have the beautiful Ewelina. I think I'm getting close.
I mean, listen, after 15 tries, you got to hit one of them on the head. It's
That's what I figure. You keep pitching, man. You always keep pitching no matter what. You may be losing, but you got to pitch. It's an honest loss.
Did you say Dwayne Wells?
Yeah, D-U-A-N-E-W-E-L-L-S.
Hit it on the chat. Let's hit that break.
And he says, I can't see the broadcast. Is this normal?
No.
Truth is only for people I don't like. I just let them sit in purgatory.
Oh, it's just a dirty prank all along. No respect, I tell you. No respect.
Oh, somebody's asking about a Gone Country hat. I do not have a Gone Country hat, but I do have a Johnny Schwinnard hat.
I have a Gone Country hat. Would you like to see my Gone Country hat that's behind
Hell yeah. Keith, we're building you for this crap.
Your country hat, just I
don't know where mine is. It's upstairs. Hold on.
The cat's wearing it, Neil.
The cat is wearing it.
So, as a female artist, this is one of my favorite newest editions because I only own black ones. Actually, I own one gray one from Gone Country and two black ones. But this Gone Country hat is my favorite newest edition.
There you go. That's a good summer hat, Sam.
It's the Pink Cowgirl hat. I love this one. It's got such a good fit, guys. Check it out.
Send one to Ewelina.
With the bangs hanging out? What? Sam, we
Yeah,
can't.
baby. Look, she's got the bling. She has the patented Neil Van Erdy bling band.
Oh,
there we go, man.
Special band on it, but it does have interchangeable bands too. So you
Yes.
can actually change the bands on these, which is something I like a lot about Gone Country. And if you're placing an order with them and you want to do specific band work, they will actually put the band of your choice on here, and Keith and them will send pictures to work with you to get the hat designed the way you want.
they're great.
Because I have a
aren't they?
hat
They're
called the
excellent.
Diva that has a full sequin print. So like it is literally all bling across the whole bottom. It's so sick, guys. I'll have to
I
show
told
y'all that
Keith
one.
I wanted one of those, and he already was shaking his head. The last hat I bought from him had the bling band. And I said, look, man, I'm going to get a hat so flamboyant even Prince would freak out on it. So I have to put a bug in his ear. I need some kind of
It's called the
cosmic cowboy.
Heartbreaker. The one, tell him you want the Heartbreaker shell. So the whole bottom, everything that faces down and up,
It's all glitter.
got bling sequins, dude. And then the whole top is matte black. And I did a red and black ring
Wow.
around the top with accents. So it's pretty
That's
sick.
pretty exotic, I gotta say. You know, I think he was questioning my preferred pronoun at that point, but you know, I don't care. I'm down with everybody. What can I tell you? You know. Well, listen, we got to take a break, so we'll be right back. We're gonna have the lovely Ewelina, Ewelina.
Number
Ewelina.
16. We're gonna hit one of them. I
We're
promise.
gonna hit it sooner or later. I feel so bad. I almost called her over the weekend because after she told me, I was sitting here all giddy and just being my idiot self. And I started doing what I'm doing now. I'm like, wait a minute, what did she say? What did she say? Anyhow, I don't know what to tell you, but here we go with some spots. Here we go.
We are the Stones of Atlantis, and you are tuned in to Live with Me. Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve, Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve or Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
All right.
Pages, what's your problem with the name? Sorbo started the whole thing. We blame Sorbo.
We'll blame it on Sorbo. You got into my head, and I just can't remember anybody's name now. They're going to find me wandering in the village, you know, muttering to myself in a big French coat.
Croatan.
Ladies! Yeah, baby. All right. You know, Ring Around the Top with Sequences, new song title. Ring Around the Rosie. How about that? Phil, I mean, it's amazing, Philip. Isn't this a little different than yesterday's show? Uneventfully, I had some girls from down south. I had a couple of grips I picked up on a drive. I drove. Did you see those lovely ladies?
I did.
That was.
I was waiting for my invite. I was like, but without me, you did this.
Let me explain the story behind this. I was supposed to appear as a guest on their TikTok thing, and my character was I'm supposed to play a New York pimp. Which imagine that. Actually, I invented my character. I told them what I wanted to do because they didn't really have an idea. So I stepped in with some fruitful ideas out of my.
They call him Slapshot Neil.
That's it, baby. Got to bang, hit it and run, man.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. You know what? I got this horrible reputation. I have no idea why. I'm a gentleman. I always open the door for a lady. I mean, what the fuck, you know? At any rate.
Followed by an F-bomb.
Followed by an F-bomb, which I'm going to get noted. They've got a list. They have some poor geek at Facebook sits in the basement, and he's probably really emotionally disturbed from watching the show for like 2 years now. And the guy's like all tweaked out. And he doesn't see the sunlight.
He's got two chalkboards full of profanity trackers.
Right, and they throw a bag of Cheetos down to him once a week and get him a thing of Axe so he can kind of defunk a little bit.
He sprays it on his face and eats Fruit Loops. It's
right.
It's sad.
And then after on the weekend, it's like they give him a jail shower or the big fire hose. They just open the cage, blow him around for a while. He's crawling on his back. The guards are fucking with him.
Every Friday morning, the gate opens and they shine a little light in, and he's like,
He looks like Schmeagol, that guy in the Lord of the Rings, man. He's all like, I gotta get the ring.
What is this, fat hobbit?
God almighty.
Go.
I never got that whole movie. I mean, it took so long. I was like, I wanted to kill somebody just to shorten the amount of people we have to feed getting from point A to point B. It was like, all right, stragglers will be shot on sight. We're not tolerating this, you know?
Yeah, it's a
But
hot scale.
So getting back to those lovely ladies, and by the way, everybody, Dwayne Wells is in the house. Ewelina, Ex-Lena, my love, Ewelina. She's here wondering how much more time, but she's here. She's going to sing great. We got Dwayne Wells. This guy is absolutely a killer. And I'm going to tell you guys, I've heard lots of vocals. Why in hell he's up in Canada instead of down here in New York with me is beyond my fucking wildest. I can't imagine this guy being up in Canada. Got to get him to LA, man. He looks good, got a fucking voice that kicks, and we're going to have him on. As far as our lovely lady, Ewelina is over she's in Poland, and
United Kingdom now, but from Poland.
Yes, and she kicks ass too. So we've got actually, you guys would be a great duet, but they're going to be on, guys. Dwayne Wells is going to be on with us in the next segment. Ewelina, actually, yes, Dwayne's on in the next segment. Then we have the lovely and talented Ewelina is going to close out our show today, and we're going to have some fun. So let's. I don't know. Let's just bring on Dwayne and Ewelina to say hello.
Absolutely.
Here, listen to me yap.
There he is.
Hi, everyone.
Good
What
morning.
a great happy family
Hello.
we have here.
Good
We
morning.
got some good-looking folks on here this morning.
I'm telling you, man, fucking looking. I got to get my better shirt on. I mean, up the game here a little bit. So what's happening now? How are you, Ewelina and Dwayne? Are things good up in the north?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ewelina. I'm paranoid schizophrenic.
Ladies
It's just a little
first.
thing.
I'm all
Go
good
ahead,
here,
Ewelina.
although where I am right now, it's the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, the time difference. I forgot it is afternoon for you.
So good
And-
morning.
and
to you,
what's the
good
weather
afternoon
like?
To the UK and Poland.
And so, what do you? What's the weather like in Poland right now?
It's not as cold as a lot of people think. The temperature is on plus, but it's very, very windy. We had weather warnings now, so
Okay.
in case
Do
any
you have snow on the
electricity
ground?
problems.
Do you have snow on the ground?
Oh, not right now. Not right now.
No.
Wow. But we had a lot before. Yeah, lots
All
of
right.
snow.
Well, good. We still have just a little dirty snow here in New York. It's like a little puddle on the corner, and it's all black and grimy. I love it when it first snows, but then it just turns into this grimy, yuck. But speaking of cold, let's talk to the man from Canada here, man. Dwayne, what's happening? Are you snowed in?
Yeah, pretty much. We got a big dumping this morning, and I'm getting acclimated again because I was just down in Belize for a couple of weeks, so I'm not handling this too well here.
Wow, I bet not. That's a great place. Lots of fun, man. Do you go?
Yeah.
Are you a regular visitor to that wonderful place?
No, it was the first time down there, and it was interesting because when I got down there, I found out that some ladies down there had a Dwayne night, is what they told me, and they were playing all my videos, and so they were hooking me up with musicians. When I got down there, it was just fabulous.
Awesome.
I was really
Dude.
flattered.
Wow, man, have you got it going on? Are you a bachelor?
No, I'm married.
Oh, okay. I just had to check out because I've been in a band before, and you start thinking about bands waiting for you in Belize and women coming up. It just sounds like, wow, this is a nice vacation. Gosh.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Belize is gorgeous too.
Yeah. A
Absolutely.
lot of that wacky weed down there, boy.
Yeah.
Firing up the big stogie. I know how it goes, man. Absolutely. We won't get you in any trouble. I know it's not. Well, wait a minute. Is it legal up in the Great North now?
yes, it is.
Because
It
I
is.
worked in Toronto, or for a company in Toronto for 5 years, and it wasn't quite done yet. And so I'd always have to ride in and be like, I can't say, but it's alleged that something somehow made it to Canada. And I just got there and there was a nice package for me. It's medical grade. So I had my medical card with me. Here in our state of New Jersey, we're enlightened enough to have that thing. My back bugging me, my sacroiliac. But so how long did you stay down there?
For about 2.5 weeks.
Ah,
That's awesome.
great.
And
That's
then
that's
then we endured getting back into Canada. We knew what we were up against trying to get out of this place, and
Yeah,
it was
that's a
quite
big thing. I'm
challenging
in
back
Michigan. It's a big thing right now, trying to get back and forth.
Yeah, I've been supposed to play up in Essex, Canada for almost several years now due to COVID. It's been put off for 2 years, going on like 2.5 years. There's a place called the Peacock Lounge that I've been dying to get up to do my show at, and we can't get in and out of Canada. It's not possible for us, really.
Right. How about Ewelina? How did you experience COVID the past 2 years? What's changed in your life?
A lot, actually. So really loads, because I think I've realized like the time is really short. To be honest, when pandemic and everything happened, I got scared, being like having all my family in Poland and then living in the UK and then not being able to see them. It was quite hard. So I just thought like, I've got to do something. And that's when I've decided to record my debut album and really push for my music, make the music videos and just like, live every minute.
Absolutely.
That is about the only good thing I've seen out of this whole wretched COVID mess we've been in for the past 3 years. The good thing is a lot of us have had to redefine ourselves in some way or another just because there's no gigs. I know that's why my show's here. My girlfriend just said, man, you're going out of your mind. You got to do something. What are you doing? You're laying around the house like an old sausage. You don't have a band playing. I'm sitting there watching Bill Burr and laughing at him as he's making fun of people, finding myself getting little tense and stressed out. Now I said, so that morning I looked at her and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do a show. She goes, about what? It's about rock and roll, about me making fun of absolutely anything that's possible to ridicule in some way. I'm not particularly partisan about it. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. There's funny shit to talk about. It's like up in Canada now, they turned me loose, I'd probably become a criminal. They'd seize my bank account and be like, look, this guy's he's inciting dissent. I'd be up there at that party of truck drivers, man. I'd be leading the big truck from the top in my command post, man. We're going to town here.
Sam, and he's supposed to be watching after us. Remember that as a note.
I know.
That's
remember,
right.
He's supposed to be the parental figure. That's what I
know.
told.
Don't worry, Father. Daddy knows best. Remember that.
Oh, God.
Call me Daddy, Sammy. Oh, man. Okay, let's see.
There was a lot of good entertainment that came out of COVID. As terrible as COVID was, I've seen some tremendous artists, vocalists, instrumentalists, actors. I've seen several amazing podcasts start up. And I think that is really important to understand that the entertainment industry is going in a different direction now.
Absolutely.
And brick and mortar entertainment is gone. It may exist on a small scale, but you have to figure out how to adapt and change and reinvent yourself with an artist. You've seen the same pattern happen over time from when you had Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash all riding around in a car together to go from show to show, handing out their albums in person to radio stations, to the big change that happened when big money came into music and record labels started popping up. We've seen periods of change, and how you handle that is really going to make you or break you as an artist. So
for sure,
you hear people's stories and how they came to be during COVID. Because I know that one of the largest bursts in my entire career happened during COVID due to online presence.
That's how I met you.
Yep.
It's been a while now. You've been on the show now for a couple of years, coming on with us.
Yeah, a long time. I think we met right after Jolene.
That's correct.
The Jolene music video dropped and the cut came out.
How many views are you up to now?
About 300,000 spins on it for the music video, and we're sitting at about 12 or 13,000 tracked on Spotify, and I haven't checked the other sources yet. I need to check.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very talented.
Well, listen,
I really appreciate
how does that translate to you guys? I mean, obviously,
she got 17 cents. No,
yeah, I get that. But I mean, to the guest, I mean, how did you guys manage your music through COVID? It's kind of a
what was your biggest challenge, and how did you decide to put yourself out when we were trapped in our houses? Like, what was your all's approach to that?
Go ahead, Ewelina.
So with this one, I definitely made an effort, and I actually was waking up towards the sunrise. And
That's
that
awesome.
was like a big challenge for me. And then like I think I've become more organized during COVID, because I thought to myself, I cannot waste another day. I've got to do something. And I've realized that planning and just like ticking all the little things every day was quite good. And the other thing, like for me, I've become really, really close to my family and my people through all of this. Because
That's a good thing.
like you realize you have to rely on other people. I used to be a person who can like, oh, don't worry, I'll do everything on my own, and it just doesn't work that way. And I realized that during COVID, and that you've got to find people who help you. And like I'm working with a lot of great musicians right now, and also makers as well, people, photographers. So it's been really amazing.
Yes, you seem to have a great team. I looked at your site and your various videos. They're doing a great job, the recording stuff. And
Thank you.
Well, we really hope you do well. So how about you? You were trotting around down in Belize, Dwayne. What else have you been doing during COVID to have fun?
Well, initially, even posting on Facebook, it all sort of came about as I was having to look at the downtime with the band that I was playing with, the Chicago Project, and basically took the time to go back to school and relearn technique, things that I'd learned many years ago. And so largely when I started doing these little basement videos, I guess it was just looking at technique and getting back into that, using some online help here with Ken Tamplin and people like that. And that's sort of what drove it initially, was just making sure my technique was sound, board, quite frankly, and just getting back to basics. And lo and behold, I did notice after a while, even at my tender age here, that there was a big difference in putting in that work and all of a sudden seeing the results from it.
Right. Well, I'm glad you did. I until I saw you online and I said, wow, this guy's just a great vocalist. And it's obvious you've been doing this, and I can tell you're professionally trained just because the material you sing. For everybody who's out there in the civilian world, not everybody has a great voice, but everybody has a voice that can be trained and taken to a much higher level. And if you have a great voice coach, it'll really make you much better. You'll learn things to avoid going home after the gig. Can't be able to breathe, can't talk until the showtime the next night. Then you go in, you do more damage to your vocal cords. And it's so many people in the music biz who are at the lower levels in particular. Thank God for IEMs nowadays. That's raised the quality of singers across the globe. I mean, when you have your buds in, it's so much easier. And I'm a singing drummer, so when I'm gigging, I got to have it. But even so, I do get a full mix of my drums and stuff in the earphone, but I always leave one just a little askew so I can hear the band, like that feeling.
Yeah.
Did you do that when you're singing? Kind of pop one?
Even when I'm listening here now, this one's slightly out. That's
right.
My routine as
and
well.
It's always the left one.
I always have to pop
It's
one
funny.
too.
It is. I would have been left-handed anyway. But all right, listen, we're a little past half past the hour. We're going to bring you on, Doug. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, have you sing a little bit, talk a little bit about your past, and then in the fourth segment, we're going to have Ewelina. We're just to sit here. Can you please tell me how to pronounce your name?
I knew it was coming.
I was waiting for this moment all my life.
Yes, you were.
It's Ewelina, so it's like, have you ever
Ewelina.
You got
Come
this.
on, baby. We're going to run to Belize and live a life of sin. Come on. You're with me now. Get in the car. We're going downtown. No, I'm sorry. At any
In the
rate,
Batmobile.
yeah. What's that?
In the Batmobile. Away.
In the Batmobile. There you go. All right, people. We're going to be right back. We've got a little
Batmobile.
shout out here.
Like a melting flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it couldn't happen here. The people we
All right. Here we are. We're back live with Neve. It's about 1/2 the hour. We're going a little ahead of the breaks just because I couldn't get the show together. I went into my spiel early, and the show was clicking away, and Irish is going, "We're not on yet. Train wreck.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, my God.
All right, so we're here talking to Ewelina, and we're talking to, Dwayne Wells, and Dwayne will be coming on right now. So I'll see everybody else in a few minutes, and we're going to get down to some business here. Good morning. You're back. You seem like a very normal guy for a singer.
A normal guy? Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, the range that I operate in, sometimes it's I get a lot of comments that people see it and don't expect it out of me, and that's
I think that happens a lot of times. Like when Sam sings, the first time I heard her sing live on my show, I was thinking, well, if I bring her in the studio, we're going to put some asbestos on the ceiling over the booth. Liable to most people.
We need like 3 wrestling mats up there.
Yeah, man.
Check the paint.
And down south, what they say, we got to put a limpter on that girl.
Got to put a limpter on it.
Limpter.
Don't have to lower the ears.
And most places, limp is a horrible word, but sometimes in music, you got to have it. It's just limpter that thing. Limpter. But at any rate, so how long have you been doing this?
For me, getting back into it as my kids were growing up, it basically started up again for me about 3.5 years ago. In the late 80s, early 90s, I was very serious about music. Had a family, sort of dabbled a bit on the side, but kind of felt the use it or lose it urge here about 4 or 5 years ago, seeing some of my favorite singers, seeing what was happening to them and their voice, and just really concerned really with my range as well as you get older. Again, not treating your voice properly, learning how to sing properly. I was getting out singing live. I was having some stamina issues, and that's the part.
It's a common problem with middle-aged men.
Absolutely, and I knew that I had to have better technique and to dive back into it properly in order to be able to do it. Because I just sort of looked at it. I didn't want any sort of boundaries, or I just wanted to be able to hopefully have that range. Again, watching somebody like Ken Tamplin, a fella at 58 years old, and seeing how well he still sings.
Who was that in Tampa?
Sorry, Ken Tamplin. He's a
Ken Tamplin, yes, the vocal coach, yes.
Yes, and seeing somebody at that age being able to do what he was doing, and sort of inspiring me to dive into it that way too, and realize that you know what, you can still be that strong at that age. You don't have to necessarily lose anything. So,
well, it is remarkable what people can do, when they get some training, especially if after you've been doing, like I've been performing a long time before I ever got any vocal lessons. And for similar reasons, mine was mainly, I have great diaphragmatic strength and can do all that. But as far as my fine control, I just didn't have it. And it really helped me because it brought me up about an octave from what I normally feel comfortable singing. And I mean, I used to always be able to do it. Like I could get it out twice. It'd be like singing the high parts in a Prince song, I'd be like, I can't do it now because I'm not even warmed up at all. But when you start doing things like that, you notice, you almost feel like you're going through puberty, and you slip a note. It's like, it feels like you're 14 again when your man voice comes in, I find myself doing that, but after a while it did make me better. And I think, COVID came, and I think anybody who's singing should probably take lessons just to save their voice and keep it from being ravaged.
Mine was stamina. Just kind of like what Dwayne's saying, because when I moved down here, I was young and I hadn't really done a lot of 4-hour blocks in bars or the strips. And when I started working with my producer for my actual tracking, I would be worn out from like performing during the week, and then I'd be in there trying to do vocal comps for like an hour to 2 hours, and he's like, hey, let's get somebody to come in and work with you because you're gonna blow your voice, you're gonna hurt yourself. And he brought James Wigington in. And if anyone is in the Nashville area, even in the Kentucky area, if you are looking for a vocal ninja, James Wigington, he is amazing. He really helped me with my stamina. And like Dwayne said, you know, it gets scary for you as a singer when you realize, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to make it through this last hour. I've got to change something. So
absolutely. You know, a lot of people don't know it either, but one of the things, if you drink a lot, or even if, you know, the alcohol can really fry your vocals, because you'll, and it's also, a lot of people don't realize this, but when you drink, it's also really damaging to your hearing. When you drink alcohol, what happens is your ears have a natural compression limiting system that clamps down on loud noises. And what happens is when you play in a sustained live environment and you have levels in excess of 100 dB going on in the room, maybe your monitor. Well, I wear in-ears now because I don't want to have my head torn off, you know, and go deaf, which I've got wicked bad hearing, and it's all because being a drummer, Marshall Stacks, the whole drill, and we just didn't know back then. And if I'd had known when I was young, I probably wouldn't have cared. So all of you young whippersnappers out there, you better listen to me.
Wear your in-ears.
Wear your in-ears and put a limiter on it, because some doofus might blow your head off by accident. You'll have to kick him in the snads. Okay? True story. But anyhow, so tell me, Dwayne, would you like to sing some this morning?
Oh my, that I wasn't ready for, but
okay.
Just a couple of lines or something?
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been a little more direct. I was going to play video, but you're so darn good. I just said, get him on and have him do it.
So something I was just working on this weekend, and I'm just looking outside as the sun comes out, and I'll give you a couple of lines.
Excellent. I'm going to crank you up here. And all right, everybody. Dwayne Wells from Canada, land of truckers and liberté.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've got nothing to live for. Took like something's gonna come my way. Yeah, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. That's it.
Man.
Absolutely amazing. I love Dock of the Bay. That's one of my mom and I used to dance to that in the kitchen when I was little. Like, I love it. It's one of my favorite songs.
Glad you liked it. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful vocals too. You're
sorry I messed up. Yeah, sorry I messed up the lyrics. I had to pull it up on my phone quickly here.
Yeah, you did that on the fly. That was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I can't wait to hear more of your material. I'm definitely going to be going to check out some videos. And I'm sorry that I have to bow out a little early this morning. I have to head up to campus. I'm a college student and I have to do some SGA work. I'm student body senator. So thank you all. It was such a pleasure to meet you guys. I love you, Neil. Everybody watching, Brian, Pam, Toby, I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
I can hear it.
There we go.
Oh, perfect.
I can't hear.
Me too.
Okay, we can't hear you, Neil.
Oh, hi.
There we
Hi,
go.
everybody. We're just running a show here. I mean, God, I don't know. What do I pay you people for, huh? Oh, well. At any rate, tell me, Dwayne, like what age did you start realizing you like to sing? And did you have a family that had a musical background of any kind?
Yes, a lot of musicians on both sides of my family. My father is a full-time musician. I had on my mother's side, I had a couple of musicians as well, great musicians, Darren House, Barry House. So growing up in Newfoundland, Canada, there were fiddles and guitars and mandolins going constantly in our house. So I had that at a very young age. For me, though, I think early on, I felt like I didn't have to take up an instrument because I thought I was going to be David Lee Roth. And
right. Oh, my gosh. That's really funny.
Yeah, but so quite early on, probably in my early teens, singing by the jukebox there, and notice the attention I was getting from the girls. That kind of.
Then there's that.
Right. It worked for me. I don't know. I realized even though I was a little guy that used to get the sand kicked on me by the jocks, once I started playing drums or singing, man, it was all over. It was like, hi, girls.
There you go.
All the big jocks, they'd always like, look at this weird long-haired freak of mine. What are you doing, New York? They'd say shit like that to me down south. I moved to Tampa, Plant City, Florida in the 70s after going to boarding school for my first 3 years of school. So it was like culture shock. I went to a school where they could actually paddle your ass if you got caught doing anything wrong. So I got caught smoking cigarettes out, and you had to have your parents, they had to sign a permission slip. So my mom, I brought the permission slip in like a good Italian mom. She goes, I don't care if you smoke, but I ain't signing that goddamn thing. Just take your ass. So then I get in trouble, get caught, and I have to have her sign this thing. So to avoid having to tell her about this incident, I go in and I'm sitting there with my usual smart ass New York attitude, looking at this fat guy, and his nickname was Shamu. So I'm sitting there the whole time thinking up smart ass comments to make when I leave, so I can say what a torturous episode this has been. And he looks at me and he goes, he should have said, New York, I just don't like you. That should have been what he said, but he didn't. He goes, so what'll it be? He goes, 3 days suspension or 6 licks. And being a young dumbass, I just looked at him and I went, depends who's licking. And obviously, my attempt at humor was ill received.
Then there's that.
And then he goes, I don't think you understand me, son. And I'm like thinking, he goes over and he walks over and he picks up the paddle. And he goes, now your only choice is a paddle. At that point, I kind of went, what? I grew up in New York and they got laws, man. You don't be beating on kids, I'm boarding school, They'll make you go run the track for 3 hours or do all kinds of shit to get you to tighten up, but they're not going to beat you, I thought that was outlawed since the 1600s, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, my God. And the fact this actually happened when he was 30 is the better part of
the story. Right. Hey, he was the oldest high school student. It was a good way to pick up chicks, Right. Can I tell you? Anyway, so he tells me to bend over, and I'm in my head thinking, oh, this ain't going to be too bad, Yeah. This guy was like Hank Aaron on my ass for 6 raps. By the 4th one, I'm trying like hard. I'm going, I am not going to cry for this asshole no matter what. I'll get a stroke going before I'll show this guy any pain. My face, I can imagine, is red. I'm all pissed off, wanting to choke the guy, but he's so big, I don't know what to do. If he fell on me, I'd be crushed and it'd be a horrible murder. They'd run it in the National Enquirer probably. But the 6th time he hit me, he really laid it on. I'm like sitting there stunned, not even wanting to move. He goes, what do you think about that? I said, nothing, sir. I guess can I go now? That's all I had to say. My eyes are like almost trying to tear up, and like I got to the door before I let it loose. I was like, damn, that fucking hurt. Oop. For all of you people with Facebook, I'm so sorry to have offended your gentle sensitivities. My gosh. Dominus Verbiscum and Conspiratutum old. You eat my sleazy pancakes from Saintly Alfonso. That's all I have to say to the censors at Facebook, because they do it based on random computer analysis of what we're talking about. And hopefully that'll keep somebody amused up at the little.
I was
little
amused
hole.
by the Alfonso comment myself. So
Yes, I took years of playing Frank Zappa while playing drums to the song to get that level of rhythmic intensity. I'm kidding. So I'm having fun. I really want to have you back on and talk more. You're great. You're great to have on. I mean, you're a lot of fun. And
I was singing with you in the background. I was like, all right, back of the bay, man. I love it.
Me too. I was in my head playing that nice groove, just kicking the fat back, you know.
I was thinking back to Belize, of course, because I'm looking out here and I don't see any bay at the moment, and all I see is a big pile of snow. So,
well, all I can tell you is you need more Belize in your diet.
Absolutely.
We have some questions here. Where can we find your stuff online?
On my Facebook page, I have some stuff with my band, the chicagoproject.ca. As well. You can go on there, and I have set up the YouTube channel, of course, with all these little basement videos I was doing, and as well as some live band stuff with the Chicago Project as well.
Right.
I'm just not all that savvy when it comes to online, and I've got some work to do on those channels as well. So my kids are helping me a little with that. Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Well, I definitely want to have you back on, and heck, if you're ever down in the New York area, I'd love to have you come on and do the show live. We'd have fun.
That would be wonderful. Hopefully, when we get back to some sense of normalcy here.
Let me ask you before you go. There's how about what's going on with is this going to end up there? Is Trudeau going to win? What do you got? Any prognostication on that?
Boy, I think the
it's
way
popular sentiment, I guess. What's the spin of the average guy on the street
with the protests right now?
Yes, because it's on the news here, like it's the insurrection and the end of the world. It just looks like a bunch of truckers peacefully demonstrating.
It's such a small fringe. It sounds like they're going to be yanked off the road today, but or over the next couple of days, we'll see. Knowing some people that are up in Ottawa as well, and hearing from them just how it's disrupted their lives here, I think they've probably had enough. Please, I'm a trucking manager in my day job here too, so I'm sure with some guys here they might see this and
I see both sides of it. You know, I think Absolutely. It's a tough thing, and it's tough, and I guess my heart says, you know, sometimes the politicians need to be reined in a little bit. They just get too comfortable, and they're so used to like if a politician said to me, "You offend me with your manner," I'd be like, you need to be offended every day routinely because you do a shit poor job. And I don't care if it's Republicans, Democrats, or up there Tories, and
Absolutely.
You know, it's just that there's idiots in every party, and it's time the grown-ups, we just tell them, you just sit down, okay? Your vote, you're really stupid, and you're making you're proving it by talking. So please have a drink, sit down, and do your thing. There's always the craziest
Listen to some
people.
music or something,
Do something, but don't sit. The people who sit in their basement all day getting upset about politics and running my advice to everybody: turn off the news. You're not going to. If most of what happens on there is, you can't do anything about it. You can vote in 6 months or a year, but right now, there's nothing you can do. You hear somebody's outraged. I'm outraged every day. I'm outraged by ignorance and political people. I think, honestly, the way the U.S. Constitution was written, I'd have thrown all these yaps out years ago. The voters have done just what de Tocqueville wrote about our country. He said, once people can figure out how to vote their money to themselves, it's all over. And it's amazing that it was in the 17th century into the 18th that he made that observation while traveling around America. He thought our Constitution was the greatest thing. And, you know, and now I understand we're going to have a big truckers protest here. So that's as close to politics as I'll get. But we're going to
let's go back to
take a break.
Better topic.
We're going to get back to
I hate politics.
Ewelina, and Ewelina. I love my Ewelina. Ewelina. We're going to go to a break and hear some real music if I can find some here. All right. Here's this guy here, some stranger.
Hi, I'm trumpeter Greg Adams, and I'm live with Neve.
All right. We're back. We have the lovely and talented Ewelina.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about your projects, and I'm especially excited to hear
Definitely.
your work.
Yes. So talk to us, Ewelina. Tell us about your past, your musical history, how you started singing. I know we've gotten a little bit into it, but let's really dig into your youth. Did you just tell us how it all began?
So I remember writing my first song when I was like 6-7 years old, and I wrote it for my dad. And I just remember how happy he was. And I think that made me feel like if I can, write songs and make people actually feel better and just put them in a good mood, then why not? And I've sort of kept writing little things back then. When I was 16, I went into a music which is more like a rap style. So I've been writing a lot of lyrics like that. And as I was progressing and growing up, I went into that rock pop style now.
Who did you like to listen to growing up? Who influenced you?
Linkin Park.
Iggy Pop?
Yeah, I loved Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I would have never picked you for an Iggy kind of gal.
I've got, to be honest, before I forget, I've got so much respect for you, because if you are singing drama, which makes me think you must be really coordinated with everything. It's difficult, so I do admire you for that. And I just love drums and guitars, piano as well. I'm a songwriter.
Well, you're very kind.
And I feel like with every song, you have to give it something different. You can't just be all the same style. So I love how through the years I was just listening to literally everything. There is a Polish artist called Sylwia Grzeszczak. I'm inspired by Australian singer-songwriter Dean Lewis. So they're completely different genres as well. And then there's also a duo from the UK, from Manchester, called Hertz. And I've just been listening to everything and just like finding my own ways.
Very nice. And did you like play? Did you have a rock band?
Yeah, so I used to play in a band before. However, to be honest with you, I was getting frustrated because I constantly wanted to do music. I was like really focused on it, and I felt like I kept dragging them with me. And you really need to have in a band people who want the same, who've got the same goal. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah, for sure.
So when pandemic started, I just decided like, shall I go solo or shall I keep looking for artists? But then you couldn't really perform together. You couldn't, practice or anything because of pandemic. So I just thought, let's try solo. So I've recorded my debut album. Really, really proud of that. That's been released in December on my birthday. But like, to be honest, like I really went into this music. I've always had it in me, but I had really difficult time believing in myself before. Or like the self-doubt, it just kept me quiet for a long time.
Were you shy as a young lady? You still seem a little shy.
But in 2020, I started working with a vocal coach, and I can see progress. So I just want to say hello to Joanna Walling.
Hi, John. Live with Neve. We're glad you're here, buddy. You've certainly done good work. Well, I've listened to your music and gone through your various pages and social media, and you're very good. I like the fact. I always like the fact that when people like you reach a point, sometimes it's almost like losing. You know how we always remember our first love. It's like being in a band sometimes. For me, when I broke up from the first band I was in that was really doing well, I didn't know what to do. You feel it's like having a breakup with someone. You're like, oh my God, I feel terrible. I love this person. How can they screw me over? But then when you move on and you get with a group of people who have that same like mind, or in your case, you just say, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to hire people. I'm going to bring them in. That's really I think it's the best way, because you can always hire a band. If you write the music, you're always going to have the publishing to live on. And sometimes it just works better. I've often said sometimes a band really needs a producer to be the guy who makes tough decisions that they can't say to each other. Like, you might have had somebody that's been your friend forever, but you get in the studio and they're not playing they just don't have it. And a guy like me would whisper in your ear and go, hey, he's okay. Why don't let's do something else today. But, I could bring a session guy in here and he'll be out of here. We'll do your whole record in a day. Yeah, it'll cost you $100 an hour, but they're incredible. And if you don't like it, they'll redo it. I mean, it's like, because sometimes you have to do that. It's like hard to kick somebody out of your band that you're a friend with. But if they just don't have it, it's kind of like the law of the jungle. The people at the top of the entertainment business can't feel that way and get where they're at. I mean, I've been told, look at the picture. Who's this guy? What do you do? What does this guy do? He's fat. They're like, they'll sit there and talk about you in the third person around this table of people scrutinizing you. They'll like look at your picture and then look at you. And sometimes they'll be like, make some stupid face. You're sitting there going, I am ready for this. I'm going to do a cold call. I'm all ready. But, it's kind of weird to hear yourself talked about that way. So what you have to just do is get the skin of a rhinoceros and have a heart of gold and not let any of that crap worry you. When people make a comment, if they're not giving you positive comments, just don't even listen to them, because it'll never, if you don't have any enemies, you're not worth it. You don't say anything to anybody. So sometimes you just got to get rid of a band member. Like if you have that one person who's just always a pain in the tail. Oh, we got to do a gig. We have to drive to Krakow. We're staying in a dumpy hotel tonight. Whiny. Oh, I don't have any money. Can you loan me some cash? and that's like, then I make a mental note in my mind. When you travel with people, if you have the right people, it's such a joy, man. Going somewhere new. And before we have you sing, I just thought of something. I saw tell us about your experience at the Grammy Awards.
My experience?
At the Grammy Awards, I saw on your page.
Yeah, to be honest, that was a long
time ago.
But basically what happened is I work for a hotel. So before I really decided to go for this music, I used to work in a hotel, an amazing hotel, Hilton Hotels. And there was a competition called Hilton Rockstar, and I won not the Grammy, but just being a guest at the Grammys. So that was amazing for me. All I had to do was just to do a music video, write a song, and just do a music video representing the hotel and the brand. So
bravo. I'm telling you, man.
Well, that was 2016, so.
Well, don't forget your old friends at Live with Neve someday. You just have to call us back and buy us a bag of popcorn or some peanuts. Yeah. I'll write to you. I'll probably be down in the Bowery somewhere, shuffling around talking to myself. They'll be like, that guy, he used to be a musician and an entertainer, and now look at him. He's over there scratching himself. I'm kidding, but what was your was that your first time in America when you went to the Grammys?
That's correct, yes. It was stressful because, of course, I won. This is like once in a lifetime experience, all paid for. So I was really, really lucky. But the visa wasn't actually given to me till like a day before.
Oh no, that was that must have been a stress factor high day.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But it happened, so it was meant to be. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm very grateful to the guys who were in this music video with me and to my team back then.
It was very cool.
This is the thing, talking about this band that you have to keep dragging. Once I've made this decision and realized I'll try to go solo. I went to find a producer in Devon, so in the UK, And it was just such easy work because he's a producer who also is a musician. So like we will just bounce off ideas, and it was like, okay, how about this? I can see drums here, and it was just completely different type of work. So
Sure. Well, every experience is a good learning experience when it comes to music. I mean, I learn from anybody, and it doesn't matter who they are. I mean, you can get, excuse me. Sometimes if you own a recording studio, people kind of do it for the wrong reason. They just do it only for money. And I kind of had a personal guideline that I've been playing long enough that if I have to hire people in to do work with me or for me, I don't want to hang around with jerks. If somebody's a jerk and they're really great, I'll hire them anyway. I'll just bring them in. I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to like them. Just tell them what to do. I'm there for them to do a skill. It's like hiring a dog that can dance and, hold a biscuit for him. I'm kidding. My guitar players are going to be going, what an ass. And anyway, I'm just making fun, guys, of your stereotypes. Not that you don't all have no stereotypical guitar player behavior like this. The posing point, then you can do the Bono with your guitar. But at any rate, so what do you, tell me, what are you going to sing for us today?
So I'll start from my original song. This was my first single that I braved myself to release. I remember how nervous I was, but I will do an acoustic version of that one. And the song is called Scattered Dreams. It's about me desperately trying to put all my scattered dreams together and reach for my dreams. You ready?
Well, great. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear it. Irish, what do you think? You getting pumped there, buddy?
Oh, I'm just listening, man. I'm ready to hear this.
Yes, me too.
Floating above my head, trying to catch them. To put some air in my veins, to feel alive again. Taken by the wind, I'm trying to chase them. To watch shine to my skin, to feel my heart within. Oh, my scattered dreams, leaving me empty on my road to blend in. Oh, my scattered dreams, drowning so lonely, people think I'm waving. Scatter all over the floor, I'm trying to collect them. To add value to my soul, to find where I belong. Slipping through my fingers, I'm trying to stop them. To put my mind at rest, to find out who I am. Oh, my scattered dreams, leaving me empty on my road to blend in. Oh, my scattered dreams, drowning so lonely, people think I'm waving. leaving me empty on my road to blend in. All my scattered dreams, drowning so lonely. People think I'm waving. People think I'm waving. Yeah, they think I'm waving. They think I'm waving. People think I'm waving. Yeah, they think I'm waving. They think I'm waving. I have to put them together before my vision gets blank. I have to put them together before it's too late. I have to put them together before my vision gets blurred. I have to put them together before it's too late. My scattered dreams leaving me empty on my road to blend in. All my scattered dreams drowning so lonely. People think I'm waving. Thank you.
Wow. You're excellent.
Thank you.
Great. That was a great song. That was a great song. That goes to the the songwriter aspect of it, and especially during COVID, it gives people time to think and slow down and really, the best music comes from emotion, whether it's happiness or it's sadness or it's anxiety. The absolute best music comes from pure emotion, and I think that's the one thing COVID did do is it produced songs like that, and that was really, really incredible.
Well, I'm very focused on emotions when I write songs. It's very often I just cry.
Me too. I get it. Me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's like a therapy, right?
Absolutely. It's the cheapest form of therapy.
And the best. More than you know.
You know what? It's a funny thing, but when I have friends of mine who get depressed, I tell them, you know what? Come over to my place. I want you to sit you down at my drum set. I want to put some music on that you like. And just no matter how bad or good you are, sit down, put on the headphones, and beat the heck out of it. And because what happens is if you put something on they like, that whole mood they're stuck in, like could be the girlfriend, it could be the jerky boss at work, it could be any number of things that are just eating at their heart or soul a little bit. I defy anybody to play drums for 5 minutes. Or if you're a singer, I find singing in full voice for 5 minutes, and no matter how crappy or irritated I am and pissed, I'm instantly like, ah! It gives you this burst of endorphins.
Yep.
It's really hard to stay depressed if you sing 3 to 4 songs in a row. You get emotionally involved in the song, take you away. I mean, I come back and I'm not like, I don't end up like Lon Chaney, the werewolf. I'm like, it's a nice day. The birds are singing.
Especially when you're writing, because it allows you to work through, things that you're maybe trying to work through. And sometimes you put pen to paper and you put some music to it and you just say, okay, this is, what I'm going through, but this is also how I can work through it. And again, that was a really good song. That's an example of, that very thing.
Right.
I think what I wanted to show as well in that song is like very often people will try to put you down, and they will just try to get your dreams so scattered everywhere. And I just wanted to show I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Well, not today.
It's a good thing because, having that tenacity is you have to have it in the music business. And, the best thing I'd say is, be fearless because you should. Listening to people in their negativity, I hear it all the time. I actually expect it, and so I never bug. I figure, they can't have, if they even took the time to comment something and say, well, I think that guy's a blowhard. Well, that's okay. They sit and watch the show enough to form an opinion and to make a comment, which usually tells me they'll be back, even if it's just to make some snarky comment. And after a while, I kind of get used to them. I'll have fun with them because I don't care. They don't know me personally. They just see the show and, they might think all kinds of terrible things. But, half the time what we're just here to do is just have some yucks.
Well, you get one life. You get one round.
Right.
So, I mean, if you want it, and it's better to fail than to never have tried.
Absolutely.
This is it.
So many people
live with this feeling.
Right. Well, so many people live their life and have these big dreams, and then they get out of school. Sometimes they get married too young. Sometimes they don't get married at all, but they just don't. I know people who don't even crack a book after, they get out of high school. And I just don't think I can, Irish. I'm sorry. That was a real random train of thought. I'm reading the comments.
No, it was back a minute ago. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, yeah, so we're really happy to have you here. You're starting out in your career, and that's awesome. And hell, let's have you sing another song. Irish, do you have any other questions before we have her play again?
No, just thank you for being on. It's great.
Absolutely,
just great song, great voice. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're a pretty girl with a pretty voice, and we're glad to have you on the show. You really are a sweetheart.
So what I was thinking, maybe to do a cover song now.
Okay, well, great.
Just do a little bit, just so you don't get fed up with my debut album, because I feel like I've been publishing all my social media. Debut album.
Real quick, where can we find your stuff online?
Thank you.
My stuff. So basically, I've got social media, and it's Ewelina Music, and it's the same on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. So
all right.
I invite you to check it out.
Very good. Excellent. Everybody watching, Ewelina is very talented, and we're here in a second.
So that song is called Riptide.
Great. Here we go.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dreams. And they come and stop. Lady running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you like. This guy decides to quit his job and moves to New York City. The cowboy is running from himself, and she's been living on the highest shelf. And they come and stop. Lady running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can have it any other way. Lady running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Lady running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Thank you.
Held it together. Everybody. Held it together. We are a pet-friendly show.
Yes, we are. Can we see your pooch? Where's your dog?
Yeah, that was my dog. It was quite funny because I'm singing, ooh.
he was just trying to sing.
We couldn't have
backup.
planned that any better.
He
That
was
was
just
really
trying
fun.
to sing backup.
He
They
was
know
just
what
trying
they're-
to help out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really, that was cute.
I love Oscar. Do not bark. Do not bark. Never mind.
Well,
Being dogs.
It was great. Perfect.
You really were.
Awesome.
You're a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We'd love to have you back
Thank
when you have
you.
something new. And
Thank you for having
we're
me.
going to roll out of here, but stick around backstage. Don't run off yet. We want to talk to you offline. All right.
Thank you.
So for
Look
everybody
her music
watching,
online, folks. It's
yes,
good stuff.
absolutely. And if you anybody's watching, if you want to find out more information, just private message me at livewithneve@gmail.com. And one of our minions, what we do is we hire Santa's elves in the off season, and they come in here and I slap them around and make sure they put out the press releases and get the computer
They're
working.
very obstinate. They don't listen well.
They don't. Well, no, they're like Grumpy, Humpy, Dumpy, and Stumpy. You know, the one with one arm. They're a nasty lot. All I do is I just pay them in bourbon. You know, they drink a lot and they cuss and they keep to themselves for the most part. But occasionally they run downtown. I'm telling you, when they go downtown and all bets are off, the cops show up. They got them all layered in the back of the damn police truck. And they're like, they got out again. I'm sorry, you know.
Paddy wagon full of elves.
Santa, when he gets them back, calls me up complaining they're even worse than when he sent them here, you know. He's like, damn it, Neil, you know, you're getting freaking cold this year. You're a bad man. What did you? I teach him to swear in Russian and, you know, whatever I can. How do you say you're very pretty in Spanish? And I'm sorry, in Polish. Got to know these. Say it.
Piękna.
One more time.
Well, what she said.
Say it one more time. Slowly for my Anglo brain. Spinkna?
Or you can just
Is
say
that-
super. It's the same. You were super.
You are super.
You are super, and really glad to have you on. Everybody watching, we've had a
Thank
great
you for
time
having
with you
me.
today. Thank you for coming on. You're really a sweetheart, and I wish you everything. I hope you have a
It's been a
really great
pleasure.
career. And stay in touch. You know, you can always drop us an email. You got a new record, but we'll be keeping an eye on you, man. My elves or whatever they were, elves are they're everywhere, even in Poland. You see some stumpy guy with a weird hat like the lawn genome or gnome, as they're supposed to be called, but I'm down south. I heard a guy call it a lawn genome. I kind of looked at him. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he pointed at the little guy. I'm
There
like,
he
I think he
is.
needs a drink. Give him a Budweiser. Stick him in the sun, you know. But everybody, have a great day. I see one last comment came in. God only knows. Thank you. Very nice. You're welcome, Geert. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you would like and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's the only pitch I'm going to do. And we'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern today. We've got some excellent talent. And today, this afternoon, excuse me, I have Lisa Burns will be coming on, debuting her 4-song EP. It was written in New York following the death of her son, who was a teenager. He passed of cancer. And in spite of it being a very sad thing, it was very cathartic for Lisa and her husband, Sal, to write this and do this album. So we're pleased to actually have a kind of a debut on the show.
Very cool.
For those of you who don't know, Sal Maida's been on the show before. He's the bass player for Roxy Music, and him and his wife Lisa are happening scenesters here in the New York City music underground, and they're just they helped. Lisa wrote an album with another friend of mine, George, and it was like some of the best pop music in the world. And I'm feeling really dumb because I just can't click on his last name, but it'll come to me. And George, you know I love you, man. I'm an old adult man. I just need to get my cane and my walker and have the elves get me a drink. Anyway, so listen, we really want to have you back. I'm just going to go to the break. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank
and here's
you.
one of our friends giving a few kind words about us.
Hey guys, my name's Eli Alger, and I'm here on Live with Neve.
Appears to be working.